How's it going? So I want to make a real quick video talking about negative partisanship. This is an idea that was introduced to me today. My friend brought it up in comment section, and I had not heard of the term, but I'm familiar with the concept. And so just sort of my thoughts on it real quick. So negative partisanship speaks to the idea that people vote against an idea rather than for an idea. And this could be against an idea, a party, a candidate, whatever. And I think this is most commonly or most obviously demonstrated in 2020 with Trump's loss. People voted against Donald Trump. They didn't vote for Joe Biden. But how did we end up here? How do we get to the point where people vote against an idea? Well, I think Trump, it's pretty simple. Like, a lot of people have heard for the last 4 years that Trump is racist and Trump is this and Trump is that, and he's basically Hitler. And if you wear a MAGA hat, you're a Nazi. And so if you're told this over and over and over, and you start believing this, and you're getting this from what you believe are credible sources, then this is going to influence that a lot. And you're gonna hate Donald Trump so much that you want to vote for whoever. You'd vote for me if I was opposing Donald Trump, regardless of what my views are. You're not even interested in that. And I think this preys on our like instinctual level. So through evolution, we've like learned to notice bad things rather than good things in life. If you're a gazelle and there's a lion over there, you're worried about the lion more than you're worried about this abundance of food right here, because that lion is an immediate threat to your life. This has, trickled down to us through evolution. And you look at, like, in your day-to-day life, let's say you're driving to work and two events happen. Somebody cuts you off, and also somebody waves you in line and lets you in front of them. Neither one really impacted your life, but you are more angry, or you remember the person cutting you off more than the person who let you in line, who did a nice thing for you. When you're in a relationship and somebody hurts you, that sticks with you more than the nice things that they did. And it's just because that's the way we're programmed, right? So the talking heads on TV and the candidates and the strategists and all these people prey on your fears and your anxieties and your anger to get a point across, rather than trying to influence your positive emotions. And we can see this on both sides. Like, pick immigration. I'm not saying this is right or wrong. I'm not making an argument for that. But there are a lot of people who feel that immigrants are coming to America. They're taking jobs. They're taking tax dollars, and they're not getting anything, or they're taking services paid for by tax dollars, but they're not paying in. And then you have, like, President Trump, when he was campaigning in 2016, preying on this, right? And so people weren't necessarily listening to what Donald Trump was saying, but they view the other side, like, they hear this, and this goes, and it speaks to their biases that they already have, and it preys on their anxiety and their anger. And then they get mad at the other side because the other side is talking about open borders and that kind of stuff. And so you then have like-minded candidates who are opposing people people who are for open borders, and they're not listening to what that person has to say necessarily. They're just opposing the people who want open borders. The same thing happens on the other side. You have, George Floyd is murdered. He wasn't murdered. That's neither here nor there. George Floyd is killed. And if you believe that there is a racism problem in America, and you are told that this is just an extension of that, then you aren't going to listen to facts. You aren't going to listen to anything. You're just going to become more and more emotional about it. And when you have, or when you're told that Donald Trump, for instance, opposes or he supports the police and that kind of stuff, and the police are a force for evil, then you're going to become more and more anti-Donald Trump, because you see him as evil. You see him as Hitler. And this is happening in many issues, most social issues, the trans issues. So you got, like, one side of the argument saying that Donald Trump hates trans people, and there's, and he's making all these rules to make it harder for trans people. And, there's some people saying he wants to kill trans people and whatever. And there's no evidence for this, but that's neither here nor there, right? they hear this, and then it already like tickles their predisposed opinion, right? So it confirms their biases, and then they become more angry and hate Donald Trump more. And on the other side, you have the exact same thing going on. You hear, well, trans people are going to go into girls' bathrooms and they're going to like sexually assault children or whatever. And there's literally, I don't believe there's any evidence that that happens either. But if you believe that kind of stuff is happening, or you believe that kind of stuff is likely to happen, and then you have candidates bringing that up, it makes you hate the other side more and more and more. So it's not so much that you're supporting this candidate, you're hating the other side. And I think with the way that we interact with each other and the way that social media has become such a major thing in our lives, we surround ourselves with people who agree with us, and we don't listen to dissenting opinions. We don't listen to opinions that we don't like. and so when we're faced with an opinion we don't like, it creates like a visceral reaction, right? And you get mad. This happened to me. I had a friend who I was friends with for years, from high school on to 2017. He used to send me CDs when I was deployed to Iraq to like keep me tuned into music that was going on. Like, he was a good friend of mine. And he was so outraged that I supported Donald Trump that we don't speak anymore. Like, he literally hates me. And I think that there's this intolerance that has happened where you can't, where like, you create straw man arguments of the other side. You know, it happens in like the abortion debate. One side is anti-killing people. The other side wants reproductive rights, and neither side sees the other side's arguments. So like when the people on the right say that they don't want to murder a baby, they're not talking about women's rights. They're saying that you're killing an innocent child, and that's wrong. The people on the left say that they're trying to take away women's rights, and they're not listening to their argument. And it happens the exact opposite, right? The people on the left say that they're looking for rights for people. They don't recognize that the baby or the zygote, whatever, is the clump of cells is a person. They are seeing that you're trying to restrict women's rights, and they're just completely dismissing the other side's argument that you're trying to kill a baby. Neither side's listening to what the other side has to say. And this is common in our society in pretty much every social issue. And I think that's what causes most of the polarization. There's other things that happen, like the Overton window becomes shifted. What's considered mainstream shifts. For instance, in 2005 or so, President Obama, when he was a senator, was all for building a wall. And that was not a radical right-wing idea. But over time, that has shifted to where that has become a right-wing idea. And so I think things like that also drive it. But basically what ends up happening is you start getting dug in on your side. And this doesn't happen to everybody, but it happens to a lot of people. You have ideas, you get dug in on your side. And then when there's ideas that are counter to what you believe, you then attribute this idea to a person, and they then start believing everything that is counter to what you believe, and they're evil for it, and all of this stuff. And I don't know how to get rid of it, but I think that's what's going on. I think that's what's driving a lot of the polarization. And I think that if you're aware of it, you can take steps to prevent that from happening. You can listen to dissenting ideas. You can think about, well, why did I get so outraged about that? When you talk to people, you refrain from using words like libtards and an orange dictator and things like that, because it turns the other side off immediately, right? It doesn't lead to any kind of productive discourse. It's just negative, and it's creating more division. So I don't know that this is going to get better in our society, but those are kind of some of my thoughts about what's happening there. Anyways, that's what I got. This wasn't my normal, last few videos I made have been about current events. I just kind of wanted to talk about this idea. If you like my video, like it, subscribe. Inevitably, if I get enough followers, which I don't really care about so much because I don't think this is ever going to blow up in anything, but it'll help me get this out there, because if you like my ideas, maybe other people will like my ideas too and want to hear what I have to say. So like, comment, share, subscribe, all those things. And let me know if you want me to talk about anything. I'm going to do it in this fashion for now. I'm just going to off the top of my head talk about things, but if there's anything you want to hear me talk about, let me know. Thanks. Bye.